Some things that we do in private, oh guys, things that we do in private that we don't want anybody to ever know or see us. Guys, have you ever imagined the things that you do in private? Hey, we are human beings and we know that there are some things that are very, very private in our personal lives, and we are like, we don't want to do them before anybody else. And guys, think about it. Just think of the small things that you do in private. And you laugh about it, because surely when we are out there and we are dressed and we are walking and we are with friends and we are very dignified, we forget that there are some things that we do very, very privately, and we wouldn't even want anybody to know about them. And guys, what are these things that we do sometimes in private? Do you know there are sometimes that you feel like, I need to scratch, but there are some things you just catch yourself in good time before you just put your finger in there, before you just open your mouth and put that toothpick in the mouth. Guys, like in my tribesmen, let me tell you a story about my tribesmen. My tribesmen have a tendency of eating meat, and when they eat meat, they leave the toothpick in the mouth. And it is on the side here. I wish I had a toothpick, I would have shown you. And yeah, I have one, but it is not this kind of a toothpick. It's not this. This is what I use, but it is not this. It is the normal toothpick. And it is on the side there. And I'm like, and somebody's telling you stories, you are talking and talking, and the toothpick has been there for 2 hours since he finished his lunch, eating his lunch. He used it and then he left it on the side of the mouth. Then he has gone and met people and spoken to them and gone and met others, and the toothpick is in the mouth, and it is such a bad habit. But guys, that's just one of the habits that I thought about. There is also this one of okay, working somewhere where you are with people is good, because obviously if you work in an office, you go out for lunch, you'll maybe walk with that toothpick there after eating, and you're walking to your place of work in the afternoon. But just as you enter the office, maybe you may, okay, let me remove the toothpick, because maybe I'm serving people in that office, or maybe I'm talking to my colleagues and they will remove the toothpick from the mouth. But that's a habit of my tribesmen. Maybe they are the other habits with other people that I see, that I know. But there's this habit of Gen Zs that I also want to discuss here. Guys, Gen Zs have got a habit of, talking to you and doing like this and doing like this, and sometimes, touching themselves there. And there's that, hand. The hand will always rest in the middle of their legs. And it is there that hand, the guy is, talking and holding there, and sometimes even when walking, I think they feel their power comes from there, and in the middle of their legs, and that's why they like putting their hands there. And somebody asked me, what do these people think? What do they think they are holding every other time? What do they think they are showing us? That they have, what? So their hand is always there because they are Gen Zs, and that is what the age group is like. I'm sure every age group has got its way of guys. I'm just laughing when I think of that. That's, yeah, somebody yesterday I walked and I found, oh, do you remember the time our guys in my country, or in Africa, or let me say in my country, boys circumcised, they get circumcised at a certain age. And in my culture, Kikuyu, we are not like the others who we take our kids to hospital for circumcision, and then when they come back, there's a caregiver. Sometimes they take the time to stay out there and be given care for about 2 weeks, and then they come home when they're already healed. And it's good that they come home, they're already healed, but you also know that in 2 weeks you cannot be completely healed. So still you're gonna be there you know, getting okay, but you able to dress up and all that. But there before, people of my culture embraced the idea of taking them to hospitals and institutions where facilities where you take all your boys and they're circumcised there, and the doctor teaches them some cultural behavior from there. Then they are seen by the doctor until they are healed, because you have to pay a certain amount of money for them to do that. But there are those that opt not to, or they don't have the money to go and pay in these facilities. So what happens is that the boys are taken to the hospital still. They are circumcised, and you know, we circumcise when our boys are big. When our boys are 10, 12, they are thereabouts. So they are big boys. Sometimes even 14. Yeah. So those boys were circumcised, and they would wear that, that actually it is a piece of cloth, or we call it reso, or if they don't wear the lasso, the one that they tie around their waist, they can wear a bed sheet. It's something like a big bed sheet, so they can put it across their armpit, and then they make a knot on top of the shoulder, so that one of their hands is able to be inside their body, so they can be careful to get healed in the proper way. I don't know how they do it, but usually that is how it is. So yesterday I met somebody who was walking by the roadside. I was doing my evening walk, and I like that guy was dressed that way, and putting his hand inside the trouser. He had actually torn, the trouser was torn on the side, and his hand was not in the pocket, but through the torn area of the trouser. He had put his hand there, and he was walking in a very painful way. You could tell that he's feeling a lot of pain, because the way he was walking was could tell that he's feeling pain. And I asked myself as I bypassed him, oh my God, has he just been circumcised? He looked like a mature man. And I wondered, why would he even walk on the road alone if it was the case? Because the schools have closed. And you know, when the schools closed, that is when they circumcise, but not in every term. They actually circumcise in the school holidays, but in August. And I think December. Do they circumcise in December? Drop down in the comment section and let me know. So this man, I just wondered, why is he walking like he's feeling very, very painful somewhere? And this reminded me, this has just reminded me that there are some private things that we do in our private space. And in our private space, there are many things, guys. Hey, imagine the things you do when you are alone. Imagine, and especially as ladies, we have got our periods, and there are ways that we handle ourselves during that time when we are having our periods, and it is natural, it is normal. So there are things that you cannot discuss with somebody out there. So I met this person who was just too vocal. You know, there are people that are too vocal, you know. There are some things that you don't talk out there in the public. There are things that you cannot go out there talking about. Even those married people, you cannot go there and talk about how it was in your marriage, in your private spaces with your spouses. You don't talk about these people, about these things, because these things are very, very private. So I met this person who was very, very vocal. I think this person was a lady. Why I'm talking about, you know, a man can get drunk and speak anything by the roadside. But when you meet a lady who is actually very bad in the mouth, you know, vocally speaking words that are very bad, and saying, hey, you know, I cannot even be able to, but guys, you can imagine, very, very bad things. And that person is shouting. Then people are passing by and they are looking at her. And then they look at her, she just continues misbehaving, talking, saying things. I'm like, hey, would you please have some decorum? Some words are not supposed to be said out there. And even telling us how you handle yourself how you do yourself things, and how you do this and that. Yes, those are your private things, and you should not speak about them out there, because it is not good. It is, I don't know how to describe that. So as human beings, we are not animals. That's why God created us as humans. He did not make us as animals, so that we can humanly behave like humans and say things that human beings are supposed to mention. Don't just talk for the sake of talking. Don't just say things and people turn and look at you to see whether you are well. It is very unfortunate. Behave well, live well in this life, because God has given you life in this life to live well and to behave well. And even if you are drunk, go to your space, go to your house. After you come from the place you are drinking from, don't go misbehaving by the roadside, talking things and even showing things out there to people. People are also having their private spaces where they do their things, and they are not animals such that they can go out there and do their things. They are humans, and that's why God created us as humans. Behave like a human being. We don't need to see you misbehave out there, because we know the things that you are doing are known to people. So you are not teaching people anything. People know these things. You are not teaching them anything. So shame on you, who is trying to speak things and show people things that are very unpalatable. It's very unfortunate. Am I getting annoyed? Yes, because when you get to see somebody who is trying to do things that are not right, you also ask yourself, but why? Why? We are human beings, and we know up to what um, degree can we do some things, and we know our limits. So behave like a human being, because you are one. So guys, please subscribe to this channel. Some of these things we have to discuss them in this channel, so that we are able to advise people on things to do and things not to do. We'll see you guys in the next one. Please give this video a like. Bye.